Okay, welcome back to my channel. This is a little more broad, and this is going to be for the month of April for Cancer for 2025. I just did a really quick short read for current energy only that was going on for whoever that resonated for. It was just more specifically around thoughts versus any prediction or anything like that. Of course, it's just energy. Energy is always fluid and changing, so you can always change your mind and change your future, all of that. But certainly, this is general energy for April, which gives you a little bit of guidance so that you can, shift your mindset to bring about the best version of yourself in the month. So in April, what I see for you, Cancer, is that there is going to be some emotional blockages that you're sort of working through. There's a bit of indecision for sure. And I definitely feel like there has either been some kind of heartbreak or, you're kind of processing the heartbreak because we do have the Three of Swords. This could also be some conflict that you're dealing with as well. So it's almost like you're having to go through so much of this to obviously to get to the other side, but it's almost because you're coming upon some kind of sudden realization, where there is more of a push to rapidly get you through this. So, what I see here is that you're being kind of pushed to process this a little bit faster. So by the month of April, I feel like that's what's coming in for you, is you're being pushed to process all this emotional hurt and these pains to help you get to this strong, grounded energy with the King of Pentacles. Now, this does suggest that there is going to be stability that's coming in after a point of turmoil. Whether it reaches you specifically in that energy right away is, really up to you. But I do see, like I said, the fact that we have the Knight of Swords coming in, it's really rapidly getting past the conflict to a place of maturity again, because this is very grounded energy. So you're being pushed in some way, whether that is, a moment of epiphany or the turmoil that sort of brings you back to, from chaos back into that grounded space, but you're being pushed to sort of make a decision because there is a choice to be made here. And it's regarding, maybe some painful things here because it does show up. I have combined decks here, and it does show up with the heartbreak card, or again, could also just be conflict in general. But it's almost like you are having to face the truth instead of avoiding it, that you've been in denial about prolonging something. So you've been denying something and so that's helped you to prolong the pain. So it hasn't helped you to get past it. So it's almost like that's where you're at. You're in the space of, all right, now I've got to get focused here. What is it that I want? What is it that resonates with me? What makes makes me tick? Getting to know yourself again here. So through this pain, this is where you start to feel those aspects of, what do I believe in? What are my values? What are the things that I need to remain strong? And how do I come across as, more of a financially stable, mature figure that I see myself as, because the King of Pentacles was out here. Now, you could be processing with some kind of a drinking issue, or you could also be celebrating with friends or connecting with people, drinking and that kind of thing here, but there is some kind of celebratory sort of energy around this. Again, there is that painful lesson, where you have to come to some kind of new perspective here, and that keeps repeatedly showing up, where you need to balance your emotions with your spiritual growth. But either way, I feel like the struggle is, where you're having to let go of the past, and that's where that conflict of the Three of Swords seems to be keeps arising. This is a bit of a cycle of pain but healing. It's pain, cycle of pain through, by healing. But that Three of Cups also indicates that there is some supportive friends, and there's going to be some emotional ups and downs throughout this period in the month of April. You could be dealing with, again, some, the stress or health maybe taking a bit of a toll, but physically you might need to slow down a little bit here, or to focus on other areas of yourself to balance it out, so that you're making your body strong and finding ways to deal better with your mental anguish. Because even though I feel you're leaning on close friends or community or something along that line, and you're trying to work through the shifting of your perspective. And again, it doesn't mean that you're wrong or right. It's about how do you get past the energy so that you can allow yourself to grow again. So maybe somebody did hurt you, but again, everybody's on their own journey and having to work through their own pains. And it's like we're all players in a game, you know. One person has to trigger the other one, enable for us to see an area of ourselves that we haven't quite come to terms with. And then we in turn react and create something for the other person to, you know, triggered so that they can work through whatever they were not working through. So it's the process of exchange of energy, basically. So when you're in that space, you know, you don't want to force things, you want to process things. So don't try to juggle too much at once, because when I see the Eight of Swords coming out here, this is also an indication of self-sabotaging, bit of a mental block here. And again, it's a deep mental, emotional block, especially too because it's coming out here with the Nine of Swords. So again, you're allowing something to override your better judgment, you know, overthinking something, you know. So when you put too much time and effort into one area, you know, to try to grow through it and process it, you're also holding yourself back. You need to be able to find ways to, you know, balance out the levels of anxiety that you're feeling, and then revisit it when you feel a little bit stronger, and then revisit it again when you feel a little bit stronger. This is a very internal, singular process that a person would have to go through and able to get to the other side of this to overcome the obstacles. But I feel like your overthinking and your anxiety and your fears are holding you back. So, you know, it's reframing something. What if I didn't have the fear of, you know, losing the job? Or what if I didn't have the fear of, or how would I behave? You know, and even if somebody did hurt me, you know, if I didn't feel it as impactfully, how could I move on from it? So, you know, at some point you only have so much control so over your world, and there's going to be things that you have to let go of. There's going to be things that you cannot emotionally drain yourself over because you don't have all the pieces to the puzzle. So there's things along that line that I feel like you're having to kind of work through: the learning, the growth, the heavy burdens, all of that are here in the month of April. But again, you're at the nines and you're also at the tens, which means this is almost over. It's almost done. You're almost through the other side of this. And so this is where, you know, your hard work is going to have paid off, where you have found a way, you know, to feel less trapped by stress. You know, maybe you started going to the gym, maybe you started working out in, you know, just at home, watching videos or whatever, but you're using something in a steady way. It's a slow but steady recovery, basically, is what I see there. Because of that Page of Pentacles, and it's just like the beginning stage of something. So there is a lot of exhaustion from carrying too much mentally, and I feel like, you know, with patience and realizing that your steady efforts do accumulate to something and will pay off, you can reframe those negative thoughts. So just know that you can either ask for help, delegate, however, you know, resonates in your world. But I feel that most of the fears that I see here, they're not direct obstacles to you. It's you standing in your own way. So again, it's self-imposed. So if it's self-imposed, you also have the ability and the power to change your thoughts, change your future, change the thinking. And that's where the breakthrough moment will come, is after that struggle of saying, okay, enough is enough. I've had enough. I'm not going to sit here and worry about every little micro moment. You know, if I don't have a job, I have to get back up and get back in there. You know, do I have to put 10 times the effort in? Maybe. Do I have to do just 6 more things? Maybe. But it's moving forward in some way so that you actually do have that breakthrough moment. Again, there is possibly, there's confusion, there's disagreement of some sort with the energy of the Five of Wands that came out there, the Ten of Wands. I have the Five of Wands pulled over here to the other side, which I'll bring forward here as well. But I feel like that new perspective, you're just on the verge of it here. And I feel like once you gain that insight, you know, it'll resolve all that tension for you. Because I do feel like you're putting one step forward here. This could be a new job that's helping to bring through that, you know, that, how do I say it? That it's the new job or something here with steady work that you're putting into. For some of you, I mean, it's a steady work in some area, because this can also represent going back to school as well. And I also had the Page of Swords, I believe, that came out here somewhere in there. So that's kind of researching and doing more work in a specific area. But actually, maybe it wasn't Page of Swords on this one. Sorry, I was just kind of going back. But either way, the Page of Pentacles does indicate it's slow, steady improvement. It's definitely something around, could be a younger person here as well, but I do feel like you're really putting in the effort, for sure. You're putting in the effort because you're at the 9-10. You're almost at the end of all of that unnecessary, stress-related fatigue. And I do feel like I said, this is the main energy that's coming out here with the Ace of Swords. So this is actually where you start to have that moment of clarity and you're going to be moving forward. So it's all of these things are happening in the month of April. So you're cutting through the noise. You're going to be able to focus on what's real. And then you're going to be able to get over, whatever it is, this Five of Wands is, competition around you, negativity, internal struggles more so for me is what I see there because of all of the internal cards coming in. Now we also have the card of justice. So you could also have some kind of a conflict or difficulty with Libra energy, Aquarius or Gemini. But I feel like you're trying to, where there was some kind of imbalance or deception or something going on there, it does feel, again, it could be even mother figure here as well coming through. But it does feel like overall this particular energy is still moving in a more positive way. I mean, I still feel like there is definitely some area of dishonesty here that's going to be exposed, that kind of thing, but it feels like there's a very nurturing, protective energy, and even in turn from, these particular cards here is where I feel that nurturing, protective energy, but it's also where you're starting to focus on what truly matters. So it's more about abundance and growth and focus on those connections and those relationships. So wherever there was deception around those areas, I feel like, as they say, trust but verify. So if somebody doesn't feel honest to you, you are staying in your integrity. You can't take control over somebody else's path because they have to balance out things for themselves. But I feel like you're just not rushing in. There's a lot of things that are coming in for you in a positive. They might be just a little further out, but I feel like you need to reach this line of clarity within yourself first before everything starts to kind of move in this direction. So again, there's so many good cards here, even though there's just as many painful cards, but there's just so many cards that are outstanding. Like I said, I feel like after a long period of indecision and hardship, that's where that clarity, like I said, is arriving here. And because of that, like I say, and again, that could be deepening your connections. It could mean with your friendships or love relationships, or even just within yourself. But either way, there's a lot of forward movement going in this whole read. Like I said, we also had the cards of, the King of Pentacles. That's a very mature energy. That's really focusing on things that are right, things that are monetary, things that are, going to be, you have to do the research and able to get into that space. But there's lots of cards of breakthrough moments here. Yes, we did have the Page of Swords in there. That's right. Knight of Swords was you're getting over the emotional conflict, the heartbreak, and this stagnant energy. But we also have just a few more final cards out here. Sorry, guys. Okay. But again, I feel like you're just leaving behind a lot of the old in lieu of some incredible stuff here. So these are the final cards out. This is the good stuff. Okay. So in the month of April, this is where I feel like there's a new emotional beginning. We did have the Ace of Cups there, where there was going to be some kind of new emotional beginning. We also have the Chariot card, we have the Sun card, we have the Nine of Pentacles, we have the Eight of Cups. There's our Ace. There's the Six of Cups, and then we've got the Page of Swords with the Judgment. So in combination, that's incredible because it does mean that you're moving toward happiness. It does mean that financial stability is coming for you. It's going to be increasing. Sorry, so for whatever finances that you had that were, wasn't a desirable situation, know that you're moving away from that. You're actually going to be increasing your finances in this month, and I do feel like that's going to be bringing you a sense of joy, and there might even be some kind of a reconciliation or something that's coming through. It doesn't have to be with a love relationship, but it can be with those friends or relationships around you, because there's been a lot of emotional healing, and I feel like there is also a level of success and independence here that's coming through with the Chariot card. So again, you're leaving behind those old old situations of pain, and you're still in that energy. So, I mean, you might still be a little bit of a hot button, but you are stepping into more clarity, more purpose, more direction, more ambition. You are going through a significant transformation here because, like I said, the clarity is deeply personal here for you. I do feel like you are struggling with the indecision, with the emotional pain, with that inner conflict, but it does push you to grow and make those hard choices. And I feel like that's what you're doing in the month of April, and that you are starting to embrace change. So there will be challenges, there will be mental blocks, there will be overthinking, external conflicts, but again, and internal conflicts, but each one leads to clarity and progress. And by the end of that cycle, you're going to step into this amazing energy of being more independent, having more happiness. You know, there's personal growth here, like I said, and you're so close. Sorry, guys, you're so close to the final end of it with the nines and the tens. So I feel like you're making huge strides with advancing yourself. Now, I did want to just kind of go back here again with, I might kind of go back and forth a little bit here, but with the Hierophant that came out here, that's your main energy as well in the month of April. So it could be dealing with the traditional figure here as well, long-term relationship, or it could be also more oriented around, you know, taxation or whatever. But for me, this feels like there is going to be a cycle of change that's going in your favor, that is, you know, on the traditional front. There's a Wheel of Fortune which is following, so that does indicate that I feel like you could be seeking guidance. You might be getting some kind of counseling or whichever, but you're committed to something more meaningful. There is going to be a lot more spiritual growth and wisdom showing up here in the month of April, and I feel like that's your breakthrough moment. So this is about destiny changing for you. You're at a milestone. You're at a major change in the month of April where you're making some rapid progress. Your luck is shifting. It's in your favor and it's coming in really, really quick. This is fast changes, quick communication. Momentum is picking up here. And again, with the Magician, this is all that you've got all the tools to make things happen. And I feel like, you know, to shape your future. So use them wisely. But it's also a lot of this part is still in manifestation mode. So you're still trying to figure out this is what I want. This is, and now I have to arrange my point A, B, C, D, you know, for backup. And then I have to look at what's my, you know, 6-month goal? What's my 1-year goal? What's my 5-year goal? That kind of thing. How much money exactly do I want to make in 30 days? How much do I want to make in 60 days? You know, what does my life look like spiritually? What does my life look like emotionally? How do I, when I am up against a trigger or a stressful situation, what are my coping tools looking like? You know, these are all the things that the mind and the manifestation mode sort of encompasses, because it's all the things that you're committing to that seem to be very meaningful to you. Again, you're following things in a traditional way. So you could be doing research on, you know, mindfulness. You could be doing research on or getting counseling. You could also be, but either way, it suggests you're at some kind of a rapid turning point. And again, you have everything that you need to sort of make something happen. You just have to trust the process. So April, I feel, is bringing in big changes, divinely guided, definitely sticking to your values, trusting fate. You know, it's working things in your favor either way. And it's leading to the ultimate card of 10 of Pentacles, which is long-term stability. This is a great month for financial growth, family matters, securing a strong foundation for the future. This is where you're seeking mentorship. You know, somebody might be helping you to become a better version of yourself or to develop a skill. You know, you're becoming, I feel like, your own. You will become a teacher of some sort, I feel, because there is a level of wisdom here, because it's being passed on to you, so that an institution may also be helping guide you toward the right path. But either way, I feel like you're embracing change with confidence. So you are in control of how you navigate your destiny. But of course, the Two of Pentacles showed up, so stay, you know, adaptable and proactive. Either way, big shifts and opportunities for you, Cancer. There is luck that's turning in your favor. You have the power to manifest your stability, success, long-term rewards here. Just stay focused, act quickly on opportunities, trust that everything is aligning for your highest good. Don't stay too stuck in that negative energy of rethinking and overthinking, because you're so close to all of these amazing changes coming in. I just feel like your world is about to change in a significant way, and I feel like your connections maybe a part of that going forward, but right now you're doing still a lot of that internal work because, like I say, you've got a lot of the energies of momentum. You do have connections. There's a lot more hope here in this read, and I feel like independence is coming through. You're releasing the baggage. You're releasing the toxicities. There's some kind of a new connection again from someone from the past here as well. This is reciprocal, and I also feel like you've got clarity. You're doing the research that you need to get to go forward and strengthen the areas that you feel weak in, and certainly judgment is the epiphany moment. So keep moving forward. You are so close to becoming one of the better versions of yourself, and then I think once you're in that space, that'll be a strong foundation to really exponentially expand. So April is a real turning point in your favor month. Despite, just remember to kind of keep a rein on your overthinking, and work on it in small bits at a time instead of overthinking. You can only control your share of your of the world. So, whatever is triggering you around you has more to do with your internal aspects that you haven't quite resolved or come to terms with. So those are the things you want to look at one at a time, not 12 at a time. Anyway, keep moving forward. We'll see you in the next reads.